Hey guys, and welcome to our first video critique for this, the third week of our class. Today we're looking at the infrared and solarization not demonstrations, that's what I should have recorded. What I meant to say was your infrared and solarization images. So on this video, we're going to be looking at Crystal, Shannon, Penny, and Jared. Well, technically we're going to be looking at your work, but I guess we could look at also pictures of you. That's off to a weird start already. Okay, so we're going to start with Crystal. And alright, we got some portraits. I feel like you like portraits, Crystal. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of portraits of you, and I like portraits as well. I'm just going to start going down here. The ones I like. I think both of these are actually really kind of fun. I don't know what else. I like this, and I like this. Oh, they got a little catch light, but it's not really like in his, in the center of his pupil, which is kind of, it's a little different because you usually expect to see it like right where it is here, like right in the eye itself. But I always have kind of like this thing where like it's a portrait, but the person's like looking away. But yeah, I feel like you're kind of within a similar sort of framing. You're doing some different kind of looks and stuff, some different kind of setups is what I mean to say. Got some good ones here. A few of them are a little bit either like, strange, or they're just sort of not the traditional ones. Like that I don't feel is working nearly as well as like some of these other ones up here. Even something like this, just a little bit different. But I like to see when people are sort of, playing around, sort of working it. Excuse me. Alright, so let's get down to the thing. Now this is something that a few people did here. Sorry, I got a little lag going on the computer. So, yeah, there was apparently a little bit of difference here between what was in the lectures and what was in the textbook. So a few people did this where they tried both ways. And if you looked in the lectures, you sort of see like this is what it looked like. This is really traditionally what they look like. I think this is really cool. And I've been seeing a lot of this look lately, like you'll see just on some blogs and magazines where people have done this sort of thing to highlight all the blemishes and everything. It's like just sort of different look. This is really the traditional, though, infrared look, which is why it's included in the notes. Again, I did not choose the textbook for this class, unfortunately, so if it's ever a debate, like if you're ever going back and forth, like, should I do the version in the textbook or in the lecture notes? Go with lecture notes, because obviously I can change those as I need to. Unfortunately, the book is something that is built into the program, and I do not have the ability to affect that at all. So there's a little insight in there. And also this, I think all three versions look really good, but this is the more traditional. This is sort of what I was looking for. But this is also really cool. So anyway, the other point that I was making here is that this is always good to do. This is a little thing that we in the photography business call CYA, which stands for Cover Your Ass, essentially. Hopefully I didn't just offend anyone with my crude language, but yeah, cover your ass. That's a big thing. So, yes. And okay, solarization. And I mean, both versions are good. This actually looks more like the traditional version, but, you know, you turn in this, I mean, clearly it's solarized, as you can see right here. I'm going to go with it. But this is an instance where the book is better. However, had you turned this in, it's what's in the lecture notes, you would have gotten full credit for it. I like this. Is this a different one than I was looking at up here that I was saying I didn't like as much? I feel like I like what's going on. Okay, so it's number 36. What was the one I didn't like as much? I feel like it was an earlier one. Okay, yeah, I like number 21 or 22 there. This is that same sort of pose, but I like it more. So great, Crystal. Excellent work. I mean, this really is what you tend to see both in the infrared image and in the solarization images. You really did a good job of recreating what that look, how the look actually looked when it was in the darkroom. And I mean, basically, what solarization is just sort of this weird thing where certain things get inverted and other things don't, depending on a bunch of factors, some of which are like, you know, value of the area and whatnot. Oh, excuse me. I need another cup of coffee. But yeah, very nice work, Crystal. I really like that. I thought your poses were good, and I thought you chose wisely for your two final images. Both good, and both versions of each one looked good. Alright, next we're going to go with Shannon. Hello, Shannon. And Shannon has some fun ones here. I get more portraits, but these are more, I mean, they're still portraits. They almost could be like, you know, they almost kind of remind me of engagement pictures in some of these. That looks cold, but from a snowy place, I know that sometimes there's still snow on the ground, and it's actually pretty warm if you don't mind being there with no jacket on. But I digress. I'm going to just click in once here, because I feel like we can get a little tighter look on these. Alright. Some nice images. Real nice expression here. You have to be careful with this kind of light, because you're getting a slightly unusual light coming from all the reflected light here, like, you know, snow and everything is picking up this light, and you're getting less of the more traditional top-down or even side light that we expect to see outdoors, and you're getting a bit of this uplight, and that's always a different light, you know, not necessarily good or bad. You know, obviously you can have some gobos. You have like a black gobo down here. If you felt like you didn't like that light, I'm a little on the fence. But I like this. I like a lot of things that are happening here. I like this. I feel like it's well framed, well composed. I'm just not 100% sure about the light on her face. This is really nice. You know, a lot of these are really. You just did a good job of capturing some genuine, sort of nice moments with these people. It's kind of strange. Some kind of weird colored reflection in there. Again, that looks sort of cool to me, and I'm seeing that you're doing some like reverse vignetting here, or sort of the white vignetting rather than the traditional black vignetting. Definitely works well. I'm liking a lot of what I'm seeing here. You have a ton of nice images. I bet that this person really enjoys these images, because there really are a ton of nice ones here. Anyhow, let's get down to saying this. Okay. Yeah. This is, I'm going to zoom out again just a hair, because there's some kind of cool stuff happening here. Okay. So it's funny because this reminds me a lot of those famous Richard Avedon portraits of the Beatles, the sort of color solarization thing that he did in those that are fairly famous, fairly ubiquitous. You're sort of getting that same thing where it's like these inverted colors on her face and whatnot. I like it. it's definitely, you don't usually see this process done to color images. Usually it's sort of reserved for black and white. You can kind of get the idea why, just because there's some strange things that happen with colors on the face, and sort of it can be tougher to see that. I think I actually like this. I think that's kind of fun. On this one, again, I'm not sure, because I know that there were some issues about which way to do it. To me, this looks like in the infrared process, you maybe missed a step. It might be something as simple as changing the, if you have this as a filter, like as a smart filter on its own layer, you might try just like changing the blending mode on this, because it's a little, it feels blown out. And it may be that, again, depending on which method you use, if you you know, had like the channel mixer, and you were, you know, sort of working with the channels, you may have just missed a step, because there are a lot of things that look correct. Some of these things look correct, but there's, if you miss certain steps in there, you kind of end up with this blown out looking thing. So I feel like you're on the right track, but you maybe just missed a little step there. But again, I think this is a really fun image. So yeah, nice work. Some really nice portraits in there. And hey, look, this was like, did you guys all have, are you guys all in portraiture class and you're taking portraits this time around? Because there's a lot of fun stuff here. I really like this. It's funny because part of me thinks like this shouldn't work with this lighter red on top of this slightly darker red. I actually really like everything that's happening in this photo. Yeah, I mean, like these two are also fun, but I feel like this is a lot tighter because, again, you're like even just this compared to this, you're filling the frame with the stuff that's happening here, as opposed to here where it's, you know, you're getting like, I think, just a little too much background. Like this is nice and tight. It really focuses you in on here. You have some kind of interesting elements like this bisecting it, sort of almost like adding a color accent or something to it. But yeah, that is really, I think, a very nice image. And he has a really nice look on his face. And these two, I think, are kind of a cute couple. Interesting here. It almost looks like you're kind of playing around with the white balance, similar to some stuff that we were doing earlier. It does look a little yellow there. Yeah, some sort of get the sense in some of these like they were having a good time. I'm seeing, am I seeing like a little? Yeah, it looks like you popped a little fill flash here. I like it. Is that fill flash? Am I crazy? It looks like I'm seeing just, like you're holding the camera sideways and I'm seeing just a pop of fill flash that's giving just a little bit of a shadow right there. I think it actually looks good. It does look like it was either used fill flash or a different stroke there, just because of the evenness of the light. I like this a lot. Her expression is throwing me off just a little bit, but I think there's a lot to really like here. There's some kind of like genuine moments there that they're sharing. Not sure what's going on here, but it's kind of fun. I don't know, maybe just like young people. Smooching and whatnot. This is nice. I really like that. That's a fun moment. I might crop it in from the top just a hair. Sorry. It's like right. Yeah. Maybe just come in from the sides just a hair, but that could be tighter. Just to get their faces kind of out of the center. Yeah, as I was going through this, I'm like, is their last name Williamson? Or if they're engaged, like their last names are going to his's, and they're going to go, maybe hers, and they're both getting me. I don't know. But yeah, I thought like a lot of this was really fun. You know, a lot of sort of playful stuff. But I really thought it was cool. Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. Not a reflection on the images, you guys. I'm just kind of tired. Got crazy kids up all night. Alright, so let's take a look at some of this video. Here's the original. Did you sharpen this? This looks a little bit like it's been sharpened. Like sort of contrast added to the edges. And then, now that's kind of odd. Interesting. Some stuff that's going on here. That's tough because this is not necessarily what I was expecting to see, but this is kind of an interesting result, and I kind of like it. And then, right, solarized. I definitely like solarized. Okay. Let's see. Between these two versions, I think I like the solarized version better, but I mean, I think both are definitely. Neither one is like exact, dead on the nose how it looks on film, but both are, I think, interesting and probably a good result. I like it. That's part of what I like actually about these presses is they do kind of give you strange results. Alright, we got Jared's work here, so it's gonna be a little different. Definitely not portraits, at least these ones aren't. So you get the Lego Millennium Falcon. I like it. I'm just gonna get down to some of these here because there's some really fun ones at the bottom. Hey, you guys. Excuse me, haven't figured it out yet. I really enjoy having fun with images and watching fun stuff. So, is this... The first time I looked at this, I thought this was Darth Vader fighting Chewbacca, but looking again, I'm saying that that's obviously not Chewbacca. Maybe Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm not sure. Yeah. Just gonna jump up here for 1 second. I want to talk about just some of the lighting here. I feel like maybe you sort of have some directional light, slightly stronger coming in from this side than you do from here. I feel like, in my mind, I want, and maybe this isn't even the best example here, but I kind of feel like I want, even like for example here, like I want more, if you're going to have something directional, I want it to be more directional this way, because I feel like that implies, I don't know, maybe some more speed. Yeah, I mean, I guess I feel like more forward momentum, more speed than the way they have it lit here. But let's jump down to his different effects. So that, I mean, you can see, just even based on the shadows, you can see it's a lot hotter, sort of here. Like you do have, again, some highlights here, but if you just look at the shadow down here, it's definitely more directional this way than it is that way. Yeah. Sorry, I just kind of lost track of my thought there. So that's the original. This is the infrared black and white. It does, you are sort of getting some of that like more open highlight look. And it's not really more open highlight, but like green areas tend to go real bright like that. So you're kind of getting sort of the infrared black and white there. There we go. I had forgot that this was at the end. I really do like playful images like that, and I feel like that's a really good job of solarization too. Part of, I think, what's working here is that you can still really see everything well, and you're still kind of getting, well, there is a lot of that inverted look, you are still getting, certain areas that aren't inverted. yeah, and I feel like that works really well, especially like, you know, like Darth Vader is real dark in both of them, but it's sort of like this remains dark, you know, he remains dark, then a lot of this lighter stuff does get inverted in a really interesting way. So yeah, once again, I think the high point of your work, David, is just David. Why do I keep calling you David? I know, because it's part of your last name. Jared, I think that the best part of a lot of your work is the playfulness, is the fact that they're fun to look at. And that's something that I think you guys as a group have done really well this week. So yes, so in honor of the holiday today, I think that our word is going to be Washington. As in General George, as in the city, as in the state. So Washington. That will be the word to include below to let me know that you watched this whole thing. Alright, well thanks for watching, guys, and thank you for your hard work. And I will see you in the next set of videos. Or you will see me anyway.